All right, I think we're here, and welcome to Saving Money for the Long Run. This is our monthly live stream. Now, we didn't do a live stream last month. Why did we not do a live stream last month?
I think we were getting ready to go on a trip.
Oh yeah, that's right. We sure were.
Our little mini turned a year old in March, and we didn't do our February one because we were like packing and stuff to go on a trip to be there for her birthday.
That's right.
So that was why we didn't do one last month. Hello, Leisure. How are you doing? Good to see you. So earlier in the month, like maybe 2 weeks ago on a Wednesday, we did a video that was frugal people almost never make this mistake. And what it really boiled down to was they almost never make the mistake of being scammed. And one of the reasons why is because they are.
Oops. Sorry.
Haha. Yay. Hey, how are you doing? So glad you made it. Anyway, so that video earlier in the month was called Frugal People Almost Never Make This Mistake. And what it boiled down to was almost never get scammed. And the reason why is because frugal people are usually ones who do a lot of research before they make purchases. One of the things that scammers usually are banking on is you making a snap judgment that this is something you have to do in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
You have to do it right now, or you're going to miss this opportunity, or you have to do this right now, or somebody's going to get in trouble, or the government or the police are going to come to your house and get you or something. So you have to pay this right now. Like frugal people are usually much more inclined to put on the brakes and say, let me do some research before I do this. But even frugal people need to be reminded of some of the scams that are out there just to make sure that they're not falling for some. So we looked up some articles of some new scams that are out in 2025, and Joel picked out 2 that he wants to look at and do as many as he can. He does have to go to work in just a little while, so I don't know how long the live stream will be. And with that said, let's get started.
Okay. So we're going to talk about a couple of different types of scams today. And the first one, since it's kind of relevant to the current climate, tax day is April 15th of this year. So that's it's a little over 2 weeks away.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't filed your taxes yet, you got a little over 2 weeks to do that. And we filed ours back in February, and I've already taken care of all that. So, done.
Yeah. Approved and done.
Approved and done.
And guess what? This year they don't owe us any money back that we're sitting there going, are they ever going to send it? Are they ever going to send it?
Yeah, they sent it to us. It's already done.
Already done.
Already sent and spent. So
spent by put into sinking funds, but yes.
Sure.
Yeah, we used to wait. I would say there's been times in the past where we waited a lot longer. But with the amount of problems we had last year with them not, like it's showing that they owed money, then they didn't, and then they said, oh, you have to do an amendment. It was a whole thing. And if y'all remember our goals videos that we were doing, and they kept putting it off or saying, or it'd show it. And then it finally did show that they sent it, and it wasn't what they said they sent. It was a whole thing. But anyway, because that took so long, we were like on it this year.
And this year we got it back exactly what we thought we were going to. So that's a good thing.
That's great. Yay. Good job.
Good deal. So, and this is our first time really filing with our self-employment money, like YouTube and third-party Uber Eats stuff. And
we've never made enough to have to file from YouTube before this past year, and the way things are going this year, I don't think we'll be filing anything for YouTube for 2025. 2024, we were just over that $600 mark where you have to pay taxes on it. So
So anyway, so we're going to be talking about tax scams. The first part will be about tax scams, and there's 5 of them we want to share with you. Maybe they don't apply to you. They may apply to someone. So or maybe someone you know have come into contact with these scams, maybe even fallen for the scams or something like that. But the first one is this: calls or texts or emails from the IRS. Now, the IRS is never going to text you. They're never going to email you. They're never going to call you. They're always going to send you a letter. Now, we did get information through the tax app, to the Where's My Refund app, that they were sending us information that we needed to send back in. But they're always going to send you a letter through snail mail for you to send back information. If they need more information or anything like that, they're going to contact you that way. But that's been a common thing lately. Text email, text scams. I know not related to taxes, but I keep getting text messages from places saying that I owe tolls. I have unpaid tolls in Massachusetts. And I haven't been to Massachusetts since 2023, and all my tolls were paid for. I didn't do any tolls in Massachusetts. So we did do some tolls going up there, but they were all paid for. So
living in Florida, we have a toll thing, and we also have a way of knowing how like a website that we can go to for our tolls, so we know if we have anything outstanding. But it's automatic with withdrawal from our bank account, those tolls. So we would have known immediately. So that's
but anyway, so now people are texting and emailing and calling people saying, hey, you owe money to the IRS and you better pay it now and go get me gift cards and things like that, especially as it gets closer to the tax deadline, and sometimes past that. They'll try to scam you in that way. I know we still get scams at the restaurant. People will call and say, hey, your operator owes money to the IRS. They didn't pay all their taxes last year, and we're going to need that now. If anybody ever tells you they need the money now and you need to get them gift cards or anything like that, it's a scam. That's not where they're not doing you any favors. So
on top of the fact that it just should be a red flag anyway, but if they use the words, you owe money, so you have to go get gift cards, that should be like a glaring, like something's wrong here.
And so anytime you get a call or a text or an email from the IRS, it's always going to be a scam, because they will always send you the regular mail.
I never answer the phone either.
Yeah, so, they're not going to leave a message most of the time.
That's spam. I agree. And that's why I never answer. If somebody calls me and they're a person that actually knows me, they better be prepared to leave a voicemail message.
But if you're uncertain about that, the IRS website explains how it will and won't contact you, and it's almost always through the mail. They'll send you the mail that they want you to have. The next one is called voice cloning, and I've kind of heard about this, but I've never encountered it. One of the newer scams is AI powered. It's if a scammer can obtain a few seconds of a voice recording of your accountant or your financial advisor or your voice, and they can create a fake phone call of that person asking for sensitive. Well, if your accountant or financial advisor, they can take a fake phone call of that person asking for your sensitive information. It's harder. The defense is to always be sure the calls are coming from a trusted number that's already in your phone. Now, if you get a call from a number you don't recognize and you pick it up and they say, hey, this is your accountant, then don't do that, because you usually got their number in your phone book. Now, it's easy for us because we're not rich enough to have an accountant. So we don't have to worry about that.
That's interesting.
Yeah. There you go.
An
That's right.
automatic red flag
That's
for you.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I'm TJ. Welcome. And yeah, that exactly
Yeah, that's
spot
right.
on.
That's right. That's
No
a
message,
great
no
way to
return
be.
call. Yeah.
That's right. But if you suspect a call is legitimate, then you can always tell them no or whatever, and then go back and kind of do the homework for yourself. I know I get there was something I got the other day. I think it was from AT&T, and they were saying that they're going to be updating the systems on the settings on our Wi-Fi router and any Wi-Fi extenders we had in the house were going to be deemed not useful anymore because they weren't going to take the update. Well, I didn't. It said click here for more details, and I'm not going to click in a text message. But it does seem to be a thing that they're doing. But I haven't really been contacted by AT&T that it's going to happen yet. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. So yeah,
Right,
I never click links, anything in text or emails, just for that reason.
Yeah. And if you got something that could have been an AI powered thing, and it was like a voicemail somehow that they left, and it's telling you to call a number back, I would like, and it was for an accountant or something like that, I would not do that. I would hang up and I would go to my contact number that I already have for my accountant and call them that number just to make sure, because it could be that once you dial that number back, you're getting spammed or scammed somehow. So I wouldn't even, if I wasn't sure that was the same number, I would go to the contact I already have for them to make sure that it's what I think it is.
That's right.
And then they might say, yeah, we tried to call you or something. But if not, then you're not calling that number that was left in the questionable voicemail. So
yeah, that's right. Number 3 is to offer to set up an IRS account. People will call you and say, hey, especially if you're nervous about filing correctly, people will call and say, hey, I can help you with that. Let me set up an IRS account for you. And then we can handle it from there. Don't ever do that. It's really easy to set up an account with the IRS. You just go to irs.gov. Always go through the official website of the IRS, irs.gov, if you have any questions about that. And that should be the official website for that. But you can also go through legitimate tax services, tax preparation services in your area. I know Walmart always has them set up with Jackson Hewitt, and we use TurboTax ourselves. And but you can always get a tax preparer for not very expensive.
And if you're under a certain income bracket,
yeah,
you can get
tax out for free.
Yeah.
So just make sure you're doing that with someone that you know and that you trust. Sometimes an actual company may have different numbers. That is true. Yep.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah.
Anytime I have a number that calls me that says like spam or scam, possible scam or something like that, I always do the block. Just right click it and block it. And any text message that comes through like that, I just delete and report as spam. So yeah.
Yes, TurboTax.
Yeah.
We've been using TurboTax for several decades, I think.
Yeah. And this is a good one too, because I always do this. If I see a number that doesn't come up in my contacts list, or one I don't recognize, if I don't answer your call, it's probably because I'm Googling the number to see who it's from. So that's a thing now. So that's probably why.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
But yeah, never let somebody else set up an IRS account for you. Always do that for yourself, and find legitimate services that help taxpayers with their tax or file their taxes. Number 4 is a promise to find unclaimed tax refunds. Now, there are some out there, believe it or not, where people don't claim their tax refunds, and sooner or later you'll have to go back and do that. It goes to an unclaimed fund thing, and there are people out there that will try to scamming you into helping you, saying they can do that for you. But all they want is they want your driver's license number, your social security number, and your birth date, because then they can create an online account for you, not for you, but for them in your name, and they've stolen your identity at that point. So never give out your social security number, never give out your birthday, your address, your driver's license, anything to anyone that you don't know, because they can always set up an account and steal your identity in that way.
Yeah.
And then the fifth one for the tax returns for the tax season is ghost tax preparers. Now, this is kind of like a phishing scam. It's a more complex phishing scam. You'll receive a text message or an email from someone offering to prepare your taxes for you. Now, we've all worked with legitimate tax preparers probably, and so sometimes this can be a little bit harder to detect. But once you give the scammer all your information and your documents, they use it to steal your identity and potentially your refund. So just be careful about who you give your information to online. If you're looking for a tax preparer, go to someone in your area, an accountant, or like to go to Walmart or Hewlett. I won't say Hewlett Packard. Jackson Hewitt. Hewlett Packard is a
computer.
Used to be a TV brand back in the day. But yeah, go to someone reputable, TurboTax, or like I said, go to Jackson Hewitt or accountant or someone like that offers tax preparation services in your area that you know.
I will say that we have a friend here on YouTube, Rochelle Adamson Budgets, I think is the name of her channel now. She changed it a couple of times. But anyway, last year she did a video about this situation. She sent money to through a tax preparer, and then she got information from the IRS that she had not filed her taxes at all. So I don't know what the company was, but I'll try to find the video and link it in the description after we're done here. So if you want to see her experience, be sure to check back in about 30 minutes after we finish this video. Yeah, that happened to her, where she actually, I don't know how she got it resolved. I think she may have without any problem, but it was kind of scary for her to think that that she filed her taxes and it had not been filed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's a great question there, Cecilia. If it wasn't profitable for them, they wouldn't be doing it. So they're obviously scamming people. Some people are falling for it.
Yeah.
And they're making money off of it, or they wouldn't be doing it. So yeah, yikes is right. You just never know. You just never know when you might fall for a scam. So you always be careful in those.
Yeah. Yep. And that's one of those reminders how, no matter, like for Rochelle being, she had a budgeting channel, a debt-free journey channel, got all kinds of stuff like that. And she still fell for that. Like, even if you're frugal or into budgeting, doesn't mean that you won't necessarily ever come across a situation where you might fall for a scam like that. So you always have to be prepared and careful and do a lot of research.
That's right. That is correct. They're really going to be busy this tax season, so that is correct.
Not yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you meant. Not yeah. Absolutely.
Yep. That is correct.
They won't have time for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
All right. So moving away a little bit from the tax, we're moving on to another article, and this one is about just scams in general that are coming up in 2025.
And this one's from Experian, and it's called the latest scams you need to be aware of in 2025. The first one is, we kind of already talked about it, but it's AI scams. It's easier now with AI for people to create things that are more real looking. So it's getting easier for people to create those things. So sometimes it's easier for people to get scammed because they think it's actually the real thing when it's probably not. There's a couple of different types, phishing and smishing. Scammers can use AI to write more convincing and naturally sounding phishing emails and text messages. So just be aware of that. Now with AI, it'll rearrange your words so it actually sounds intelligent.
Somewhat. Occasionally there will be a word
yeah.
that don't sound right.
That's right.
But you might, I mean, unless it just happens to be a word that can be pronounced a different way or something, you might not catch that.
That's right. They can create AI images. Scammers can use AI generated images to quickly create eye-catching websites, social media ads, fake identification documents, explicit photos, and fake headshots for social media profiles. So it's really much easier to do that now because of AI. Deep fake videos. We've heard a lot about that in the news. AI generated videos might be created to promote fake products or services or investments. Scammers might also use deepfake recordings of real-time face and body swapping tools to trick victims into thinking they're someone else. So that's just really a scary thing that that's actually been happening. That these deepfake videos that you actually think you're watching the actual person and you're actually not. It's actually
like a celebrity
video,
who's telling you about the newest weight loss thing that just made them drop weight really fast.
Yeah.
Or something. A lot of times those are not really the celebrity. They're it's actually fake AI stuff. And again, it's almost like if you look real careful at them, their facial movements aren't quite right. But you have to really be paying attention.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are seeing those and thinking that, this celebrity endorsed this product or something like that. And it's really not what you think at all. Yeah.
Yep, that's right. Number two scam you want to be looking for in 2025. Let's see this.
No kidding. I haven't seen those two.
That's interesting.
I haven't seen any of the three of those. Yeah. I see a lot of women celebrities that they use.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Number two is the scam that you want to be looking for in 2025 are called imposter scams. Scammers almost always hide their identity, and the scammer pretends to be a friend, a relative, a celebrity, a politician, a business person, government agency, or a delivery person, or a company representative. Mm-hmm. Some types of imposter scams are so prevalent that they have their own names, such as the grandparent scam, which doesn't actually always involve a grandparent, and then romance scams, which sometimes involve platonic rather than romantic relationships. But they have those. They've got names for those. So let's see. According to the FTC 2023 Consumer Sentinel Network data book, about 20% of people targeted by an imposter scam in 2023 lost money, and the median loss was $800. So if you're looking at, if you target 100 people and you get 20 people to fall for your scam, you're scamming them for at least $800 a piece. That's $1,600 that you can make in a day if you got 20 people in a day to fall for your scam. So there's money in it.
Oh yeah. What I was thinking about was like the ads that you see on Facebook or Instagram are often women selling weight loss products, and they're not real. But I have seen some YouTube videos, but they're all like Barron Trump singing or something like that. Like I haven't really seen Denzel or Anthony Hopkins, but yeah. Yes, deep fakes. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep.
Number three is called sextortion scams targeting children and teens. One disturbing scam that's become more prevalent in recent years is a financial sexual extortion or sextortion scam. The scammers often pretend to be young girls or women who are interested in a romantic relationship. They may send stolen or AI-generated explicit photos and trick victims into sharing explicit photos or videos. Alternatively, scammers sometimes trick victims after forming a friendship and then offering money, gift cards, or something else in exchange for images or videos. Victims are told that the images or videos will be sent to family and friends and classmates if they don't pay the scammers. Often this all happens very quickly, sometimes in less than an hour, and victims may be too embarrassed to ask for help. The FBI and the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children's Cyber Tip Line have more resources. You can look at that. You can also report the scam to the Cyber Tip Line and get help taking down explicit content.
I do know that there was a girl that that they had on the news probably a month or so ago that was fell for that, I think, and because of that, she was dealing with cyber bullies and stuff, and so there was an executive order or a group that met to talk about dealing with cyber bullies.
Yeah.
But that's probably where those situations are. Wow. Yeah, I don't know that. Yeah. That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. Old people smell. That's crazy. What the
I
heck?
didn't know I had a smell.
We're not old.
I used to tell my kids that years ago, you should not believe anything that you read, hear, or view online. If you view internet with a critical eye and view everything suspect, you will be better. That's really good. That's really good advice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is. It really is.
Yeah. The number 4 scam you want to be mindful of in 2025 are romance scams. Now, they aren't new, but they're a popular scam, and they're a prime example of how scammers can use generative AI to trick their victims. Scammers often steal someone's identity to create fake profiles on dating and social media apps to meet victims. There's no surefire method to detect a fake. Someone will use AI to deepfake video calls, and some crime organizations even force people to hire models to conduct romance scams. After gaining your trust, the scammer might ask you to buy them something, ask for money, or give you an investment tip that's part of the scam, or the person may mistakenly send you money and ask you to send back or forward to someone else. If your bank later determines that their payment was fraudulent, the sum of the payment will be subtracted from your account. Many romance scams start with text messages, private messages on social media, or in dating apps, and they can target anyone. Some scammers even seek to form platonic rather than romantic relationships.
I think that one is one that widows especially are susceptible to.
Yep.
When they realize that a woman's husband has died, then they'll start sending them messages about, because they think they're lonely. So they'll be easy targets.
Yep. So that is correct. Number 5 are phone-related scams. Yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah, I'm wondering what my smell is. So, or when it'll start. I guess I know I'm old when the smell starts, whatever that is.
That's a weird direction to go in.
Yeah.
Like how did you find that?
That's right. Number 5 scams that we need to be looking for in 2025 are phone-related scams. Scammers may contact you by phone. Some phone scams rely on smartphones' capabilities to access the internet and install malware. These phone-related scams include, number 1, robocalls. They have people's phones ringing nonstop with increasingly naturally sounding recorded voices. They may offer everything from auto warranties to vacations or issue a threat to try and get your attention. Some robocalls can even respond to your questions using pre-recorded or AI-generated messages. Malicious apps, they may try to get you to download a malicious app onto your phone because you owe money or something like that. Don't ever do that. Don't ever download an app that someone on the phone asks you to. QR codes. We heard about this scam. We went to St. Augustine a couple months ago. We had already heard about this scam, the QR code scam, where people will slap a fake QR code over a real QR code, and then when you scan it, like at a parking place where you'd have to scan to pay for your parking, and if they slapped a fake one over that, then it's going to go to that website and not to the parking website where you need to pay for your parking. They always say to make sure you scratch on the QR code to make sure there's nothing on top of it that you can peel off. If you can peel off the QR code, go ahead and peel it off, because that's not the real one.
Just as a note, we're
yeah.
not saying this happened in St. Augustine.
No, it didn't.
Us.
But we were
talking
as a
about
joke
it.
Would say, hey, go up there and scratch on that to make sure there's not a sticker over it.
Because we had to scan to actually park.
That's right.
We had to scan a QR code to park in the town. And so I said, check it and make sure there's not a sticker on it.
Yeah.
Not that we've seen that happen. We've just heard it.
I'm glad the restaurants are now going to QR codes on their on the check. When they give you the check, they have QR codes that you can pay. And when they hand one, I know that there's not going to be a scammer on there because they're just handing me the check. So those are easy to do, but they can put them in inconspicuous spots, especially if it's out in a public place.
Yeah, where it's not monitored. That's the thing. If you just check, you're good, and the QR codes can be fine.
Yeah.
And like you said, a good way
Just be careful.
Just a good way to, like in a restaurant, you don't have to sit there and wait for them to bring you your check back and then bring your card, hand them up your card, and then they bring you your card back. Like the card never leaves your hand, so we like it for that reason. But again, like we always check to make sure there's not a sticker over it, which shouldn't happen in a restaurant, but unless it's stuck to the table, which they can put sticker. There's at some restaurants, especially like fast food, they might have a QR code that you can stuck down on their table that you can do just to order the food, so that you don't have to go and stand in the line.
Yeah.
And so maybe there's a potential that someone could stick a sticker on top of that one. So I would still probably check.
That is correct.
You're the old people.
Yeah. Okay. Next phone scam is called SIM swapping. This technique is used by a thief to reassign your number to a SIM card in a phone that they control. They can then try to log into your accounts using codes or links sent to your phone number. Contact your carrier to see if there are any security measures for stopping SIM swapping in your area. Also, see if your accounts let you use a non-SMS multi-factor authentication option, such as an authenticator app that the scammer can't steal or access. And then one-time password bots. Scammers use so-called OTP bots to trick people into sharing the authentication codes. The scammer might try to log in, prompting the bank to send you a one-time code. At the same time, the bot imitates the company and calls, text messages, emails asking you for the code. The timing might convince you that the bot's request is legitimate. However, if you respond, it sends the code to the scammer, who can now log into your account. If your bank sends you a code, never send it to anybody else. The bank is not going to ask you for your code. They're not going to ask you for your PIN number. They're not going to ask you for any of those things. So just be aware of that.
Let's go back again.
Heard that. Okay.
Y'all are funny.
Mm-hmm. The number 6 scam you want to be Uh-huh.
Yeah.
The number 6 scam you want to be looking for in 2025 is cryptocurrency and investment scams. Now, if you don't do anything with cryptocurrency, then you don't have to worry about those. But cryptocurrency prices skyrocketed after the election, and cryptocurrency scams are sure to follow. They've taken different forms over the years, including scams involving fake prizes, contest giveaways, or early investment opportunities. Investment scams often rely on similar techniques, but without the crypto spin. The Better Business Bureau considered the combined crypto investment scam to be the riskiest scam in its 2023 BBB Scam Tracker Risk Report. So just be aware of those cryptocurrency and investment scams. People want to invest in something, and if you're not working with a financial advisor with those, that would be our suggestion is always to work with a financial advisor, even with cryptocurrency and investment scams. That way, you know you're that it's legit.
Yeah.
Number 7 is online purchase scams. Online purchase scams continue to be one of the riskiest types of scams, according to the Better Business Bureau. Some scammers set up fake e-commerce stores and buy ads for the website on social media. They might list items for sale on online marketplaces, including social media platforms, eBay, Facebook Marketplace, those kind of things is where they might set up those scams. They might take your money and never send anything in return, or they might be committing a triangulation fraud and purchasing the item you bought with someone else's stolen card. You might not realize you're a part of a scam unless you try to return the item or use a warranty.
Mm-hmm. That's definitely check Better Business Bureau before you order from a company you don't know.
Yeah.
He ordered a laptop, this one that is recording for us right now.
Yeah, it's right there. See it right there? It's right there.
You can't see it, but it's right there.
there.
Anyway, he got it from backmarket.com. Believe me, we did our research before we ordered from them to make sure that there were a lot of reviews, that the company was vetted on the Better Business Bureau, and it was, and we got a computer for a really good price. But I mean, if it wasn't for doing the research, we would have never bought from them, just because we didn't know for sure if they were a legitimate company. So that's it. If you check with the Better Business Bureau, you're much more likely to make good decisions on your purchases if they're online.
Yep. Number 8 is employment scams. They use enticing and hard to detect lures to target people who've been out of work. They take a slow approach with interviews and legitimate seeming operation, and then they collect personal information from your employment forms or tell you to buy equipment or training. Other scams might get right to the point and promise guaranteed or easy income if you purchase their program. Sometimes a fake employer sends a large paycheck and asks you to send the extra back. Play on the popular overpayment scam. The check will be denied by your bank, and you've already sent them money back, and they get the money, and you get stuck with the chargeback. So be aware of those. Never go to work for someone who says, "Hey, you have to pay me first to go to work." That's always a surefire.
This is kind of a little bit like it, but not exactly. We get contacted all the time from companies wanting to sponsor videos. Y'all can say we almost never do any of them. We almost none of the emails get past me just deleting them. But occasionally we'll get one that says, just buy the product off Amazon and then we'll reimburse you.
Yep. No,
that's not happening.
Nope.
I don't know you from Adam. You're not.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it could be legitimate, but if you want me to do a sponsored video that bad, you're probably going to send me the product, not me go and order it from somewhere else and then you reimburse me.
Yeah. So
it's kind of like that in my mind, that idea that you're going to pay up first and then we'll send you some money later.
That's right. Number 9 is check fraud. Criminals have been breaking into mailboxes and robbing mail carriers to steal mail and look for checks. If you mail a check and it's stolen, they might create a counterfeit check and use it to withdraw money from your account. Your bank or credit union will probably reimburse you for that, but it could take a long time and cause money problems while you wait. It might be best to avoid writing and mailing checks altogether. If you have to send a check, some pins, such as Uniball pens with super ink, can claim to stop check washing. It still won't stop all types of check fraud. And I don't know that we've used checks in years.
No.
So
No,
I use it at
because-
work. We use our bank to send out supplier checks, but other than that, we don't send checks.
Yeah, the last time we came into the situation where we were even being asked to write a check was the last time that we bought a car outright. They were wanting us to write a physical check, and that was the last time. And it's been 3 years since we bought a car. It's been that long.
That's right.
Since we've been asked for a physical check.
That's right.
So,
So you're probably asking yourself, well, how can I avoid scams in 2025? Well, I'm glad you're asking yourself that, because we want to share some tips with you before we close today. Number 1, be skeptical when someone contacts you. Always be skeptical, especially if it's someone you don't know. For a number you don't know, an email you don't know, any of those things, just be skeptical and do your homework. And it may look like it's coming from someone familiar, but just be skeptical about everything online these days.
don't answer it.
That's right. Number 2, don't click unknown links. If you don't know where the link is coming from, don't click it in your email. Don't click it in your text message. Just don't click it whatsoever.
We've talked about that. We've said even if we even if it looks like it might be the right email or link or whatever for a website for a company that we already have an account with, we still don't click on it in the email unless we know that it came from, like, it's a normal email we always get. Instead, we go to the website.
That's right.
Where we hold the account already, and we look to see if the information is there.
Yep.
Because occasionally what they'll do is they'll take a website and they'll change like one letter of the web address, and it will almost look like the exact same web address, but then when you click on it, it's taking you to a scam account. So, like, unless we are positive it's an email that we get like routinely, this is nothing new.
Yeah.
We don't click on those websites and stuff inside the actual email that was sent to us.
Yeah. Be careful with your phone. If you suspect a spam call, don't respond or press the button. The safest option is to hang up or ignore the call entirely. You can look them up on the internet if you need to, but be careful with your phone. Number 2 is next one is update your devices. Software updates may include important security measures that can help protect your phone, tablet, or computer. So always do the updates. Enable multi-factor authentication. Like a second option of, hey, if I try to log into this website, it's going to send me an email or a text message with a code. Always set up multi-factor authentication. Research companies. Next one is research companies before taking any actions. Before you make a purchase or donation, take a few minutes to review the company. Do a web search for its name plus scam or reviews, and research charities on Charity Navigator and Charity Watch. Next one is don't refund or forward overpayments. Be careful whenever a company or a person asks you to refund or forward part of a payment. Often the original payment will be fraudulent and taken back later. The next one is look for suspicious payment requirements. Scammers often ask for payments via cash, wire transfer, money order, cryptocurrency, or gift cards. These payments can be harder to track and cancel than any other forms of payment, which can leave you stuck without recourse. So if anybody ever asks you for cash, a wire transfer, a money order, cryptocurrency, or gift cards, it's a scam. Just be skeptical of that. And then create a family password. Create a family password that you can all use to verify that it's really one of you on the phone. If you ever question this, one of your family members, say, hey, what's the family password? And then they'll be able to give it to you. If it's not, then it's not the person you think you're talking to.
Mm-hmm. And I'll add another one. We talked about this in our video, but if you receive a package at your doorstep that you did not order, and instead of telling you who it is from, it says to find out who sent you this, scan this QR code. Do not scan this QR code. That is a way of them getting into your phone. Yep. And it's something that was going around at Christmas, yep. But I'm sure if it was successful at Christmas, they'll be doing it for every holiday from now on.
But if they sent you something and you don't click the QR code, you can still keep whatever's in the box.
I mean, yeah.
If you want to.
If it's something you want.
That's right.
Their mistake for sending it to you.
That's right.
Yes.
Good rule of thumb: never ever click a link in an email. That is
yes.
correct. Never
yes.
ever do that. Even if you remotely think it's true, don't click a link in an email.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you guys for joining us today. That's all we've got, I believe, and thank you for all your activity in the chat. That's been fun to interact with you guys, and we appreciate your appreciate your interaction today. If you're watching it on the replay, drop us some comments below and let us know what scams that you've seen. If you want to comment on some of the scams we talked about, we'd love to hear that as well. But I think that's going to do it today for saving money for the long run. We're Joel and Christy. Don't forget the long run. Give yourself a little grace.
Bye. Bye.